Our U.S. military has an arsenal of many unique and menacing aircraft that can deploy devastating missiles like the AGM Maverick. The Maverick was designed by the Hughes Aircraft Company in the 1960s. It has been so dependable over the years that it is still used today by more than a dozen different countries. Monitoring equipment will provide researchers with valuable information concerning the missile's acceleration and explosive performance. Conducting tests on missiles like the Maverick are done by attaching the missile to a rail that extends many miles long. The Maverick's top speed is classified, but it will travel close to Mach 1.2. The Maverick has been produced in more versions than any other tactical air-to-surface missile to date. As the missile leaves the rail, it seems to float through the air to its target. This Maverick is started down the track by a booster rocket. Then it's off on its own power. A close look at an operational Maverick reveals a camera in the actual nose of the missile. The view from this camera is transmitted to a TV monitor in the cockpit of the plane. For this is just one of several ways the pilot may choose to aim the missile at a target, like this underground bunker. After being launched from under the wing, we are provided with a spectacular view from the nose of the missile as it descends towards the target. A ground-mounted camera shows the accuracy of this non-explosive warhead. A loaded warhead on this bunker would look like this. Or maybe like this. This armored personnel carrier will be the next target. This Phantom 4 has located its target. It becomes obvious that this armor is no match for the power of the Maverick. This thicker tank armor will not provide much additional protection from a Maverick impact either. This series of ground-based angle shots reveal that this was not a direct hit. Nonetheless, this tank is out of action. A moving tank will test the Maverick's ability to track a moving target while in flight. As the tank moves across the desert floor, the missile keeps the tank in the crosshairs for a direct hit. You have just seen the Maverick being deployed on ground-based targets. The same technology is used for naval targets. Naval application air-to-surface missiles come in a wide range of sizes and charge types. This missile guidance system has found its target and locks on. Non-explosive warheads are used in practice situations in order for the naval targets to be used as many times as possible before sinking. The next impact is a clear demonstration of the power of a fully charged air-to-surface missile. But not all enemies are on the ground or ocean surface. Air-to-air combat requires a lighter and highly maneuverable missile. The missile of choice for air-to-air combat is the deadly Sidewinder. A wing-mounted missile, the Sidewinder can be fitted with at least 7 different kinds of guidance systems. Presently used by 20 different countries, the Sidewinder has proven itself a champion in the air-to-air arena. As these Phantom 4s roll out for takeoff, a target drone aircraft is taking off for its last flight. Remotely controlled, this old Delta jet fighter is maneuvered into position. The beauty of the Sidewinder is its relatively cheap cost and compatibility with many different kinds of aircraft. Its relatively simple design means the Sidewinder has less than 24 moving parts. This missile has an impressive acceleration and can achieve Mach 2 in under 2 seconds. This unusual plane is the A-10 Thunderbolt, referred to as the Warthog because of its ugly appearance. This plane has been designed with one specific role to play, and that is to stop armored vehicles in their tracks. The A-10 is designed around the awesome 30mm 7-barrel Gao Avenger. This anti-tank gun is located in the nose of the aircraft and spews out 6-inch shells made of spent uranium. Spent uranium is a non-radioactive material and is one of the heaviest compounds on Earth. This added weight to each shell allows the shells to pierce the thickest of armor. These huge shells are spewed out at a muzzle velocity of 3,500 feet per second, which is equal to the best 20mm weapons. This combination of weight and caliber makes the A-10's primary weapon a very effective tank killer. the A-10s return home, the pilots know they have pushed their machines to the limit, and they will do it again tomorrow. No, these are not astronauts. They are the pilots of the most exotic aircraft built by our U.S. military to date. This is the SR-71. Nicknamed the Blackbird, this plane is used solely for strategic reconnaissance. With an overall length of 107 feet, it resembles more of a rocket than a jet aircraft. The Blackbird is capable of gathering photographic and electronic intelligence data that may be eluding one of our satellites located in space. The two massive Pratt & Whitney J-58 turbojets allow this plane to spend most of its time in the thin, frigid air of the troposphere, some 80,000 feet above the Earth. At a record altitude of 80,000 feet, the SR-71 has an unmatched cruising speed of Mach 3.3. That's more than 3 times the speed of sound. In 1990, this aircraft set yet another aviation record by flying from Edwards Air Force Base in California to Washington, D.C. in just 61 minutes. Quite an achievement for an airplane that is a quarter-century old. This F-111 is more than just a fighter. The F-111, nicknamed the Aardvark, is also an all-weather penetration bomber. In addition to being powered by the same powerful TF-30 turbofans that drive the popular F-14 Tomcat, the F-111 has been built around the revolutionary variable swept wing concept. With the wings in their full back position, the Aardvark can break the speed of sound at sea level, a feat few jets can achieve. The shockwave from breaking the sound barrier kicks up the sand on the desert floor. The F-111 is equipped with the powerful M61A 20mm gun. This unique aircraft can take off loaded at weights exceeding 95,000 pounds. Its payload can consist of a wide range of air-to-air and air-to-surface missiles, as well as conventional and nuclear bombs. Here we see the deployment of an AGM-69A SRAM nuclear missile over the desert in the western United States. SRAM is an abbreviation for Short Range Attack Missile. Each missile can weigh up to 2,200 pounds depending on warhead type. The F-111 can be equipped to carry 6 of these nuclear missiles at one time. It is the long range and load capacity that makes the F-111 so special, and it was these special qualities that made this the plane of choice for the U.S. Air Force when it attacked Libya in the late 1980s. Probably no single aircraft in the U.S. arsenal is more well known or exemplifies air superiority than the Boeing B-52 Stratofortress bomber. In service since 1957, the B-52 still forms the backbone of the U.S. Air Force's Strategic Air Command, with nearly 300 planes available. With a crew of 6 and a full internal weapon load of 60,000 pounds, additional missiles and equipment can be attached to wing pylons, making its maximum takeoff weight an astonishing 488,000 pounds. External fuel tanks for long-distance missions can be fitted to the B-52 as well. The B-52 also has a multi-barrel radar-controlled 20mm Gatling gun in the tail, adding to the ferocity of this destruction machine. The B-52 can carry one of the most important weapons in the U.S. military inventory, the cruise missile. A superb bit of engineering by the Boeing Aerospace Company, this ALCM-86 is designed to be dropped from a flying aircraft as far as 1,000 miles from its target. When dropped, the cruise missile sprouts a tail fin and wings, fires up its own jet engine, and accelerates off to its predetermined target. This is just one of the many B-52s recently converted to carry 12 cruise missiles under the wings, and with the newly fitted internal rotary deployment launcher, an additional 8 missiles can be deployed. The cruise missile can be equipped with a non-nuclear explosive as well. A non-nuclear explosion is still quite powerful, therefore it is not necessary for the missile to actually hit the target. Just detonating close to the target will do. Notice as this non-nuclear cruise missile flying high and fast over the target will destroy the target without even hitting it. The cruise missile can be deployed by several different kinds of aircraft. This ominous red cruise missile is combined with the U.S. Air Force's latest state-of-the-art bombers, the B-1. The development of the B-1 has been long and difficult. After being conceived in 1965 after many years of study programs, the first aircraft was flown on December 23, 1974. It was during the first term of the Reagan administration that the final development of this fine aircraft was fulfilled, and initial operation was finally achieved in 1986. This huge aircraft is built by Rockwell International. It is powered by 4 large General Electric turbofan engines that pack an impressive 30,000 pounds of thrust. contrast to the enormous B-1, the F-16 may be small in size, but it is huge in destructive capability. The F-16 Fighting Falcon is built by the General Dynamics Corporation. It is nicknamed the Electric Jet. This reference is made because of its advanced control system. For instead of having the control surfaces like wing flaps and tail rudders mechanically linked to the control stick in the cockpit, movements of the control stick are transmitted from the stick by computer to the control surfaces in what is called fly-by-wire. This is the most advanced method of flying today. Pilots claim it takes some getting used to. This tiny single-engine jet is the most astonishing dogfighter in the air today. It has the power and agility to accelerate vertically and crank out 9G turns. Other jets may have more impressive long-range weapon systems, but nothing in the sky can perform better in a close-in fight than the F-16. Equipped with the latest high-tech armaments, the F-16 also has the old standards like a 20mm machine gun. After dropping its bombs, the F-16 heads out looking for a dogfight with some F-15s. Almost all of today's military aircraft have been designed to take on fuel while in flight. This remarkable interaction between two aircraft seems effortless, yet it is very dangerous and requires a high degree of communication and accuracy between the pilots of the two planes. There are several kinds of flying tankers in service around the world today. One of them is the popular Boeing KC-135 Stratotanker. First flown in 1956, the KC-135 air refueling tanker is frequently confused with the DC-8 or the popular 707 passenger aircraft. More than 700 of these aircraft have been built by Boeing. Since 1975, Boeing has been involved with a retrofit program that consists of replacing sections of the lower wings, installing newer and quieter engines, and strengthening the landing gear. During refueling, extreme care must be taken, for any sudden disturbance of airflow or a miscalculation from either pilot could result in the refueling boom puncturing or severely damaging the aircraft, or worse. As you watch this KC-135 in action, you should be able to identify several aircraft shown previously during this program. It won't take long for this thirsty C-5 transport plane to deplete the fuel reserves in this KC-135. After being topped off, this C-5 moves to the side for a thirsty B-52 to take its place. The B-52s in the Strategic Air Command are required to stay in the air for extended periods of time. With the help of the KC-135s, they can do just that. Not all in-flight fuel transfer is achieved by the boom method. Some aircraft have a refueling stem that permanently protrudes from the side of the aircraft. This requires the pilot to place the refueling stem into a pod or a sort of basket that is attached to the end of the refueling hose. This definitely requires superior flying skill. There is no mistaking this leviathan of the sky. This is Lockheed's C-5 Galaxy, a real monster in the aviation world. The Galaxy is the second largest transport plane ever built. The C-5 can swallow huge payloads like tanks, helicopters, and trucks. And it can carry up to 345 men on its two decks. In total, the C-5 can carry 265,000 pounds of freight, nearly 3,000 miles. The 77 C-5s in service today form 4 squadrons in the Military Airlift Command. Typical loads include 2 M1 tanks or 16 3/4-ton lorries, or 10 combat-ready Marine Corps light armored vehicles, or 6 Apache attack helicopters. Due to the C-5's huge size, it seems to take off in slow motion. U.S. air power is a combination of man and machine. Each one plays an important role in our nation's defense. From the hands of this skilled pilot to the accuracy of the cruise missile, as well as the dedicated ground crew that keep our planes fueled and loaded. From the smallest to the biggest of aircraft, like the B-52, the KC-135, and the unmistakable C-5 Galaxy. And let's not forget the support crew, like the men who operate the refueling booms on the KC-135 that keep our nation's sophisticated jets flying. We would like to thank the men and women of the armed forces for their tireless devotion to duty and for making this video possible.